Hello everyone, welcome to Carnivorous Plants Hub. Today we're going to be taking a look at my Venus Flytraps and Sarracenia that were in dormancy and are starting to wake up. Today is April 9th and I wanted to show you where the plants are. They're likely behind most nurseries for this time of the year due to the growing season being a bit shorter and spring coming just a bit later for my area. Mine are still in my tent and are getting about 7 hours of light a day now. I'm not going to talk about each plant, but I will chime in from time to time with an update on the plants that I think are worth noting. I'm bumping my light an hour every 2 weeks or so. The growing has definitely started with most of the Flytraps. You can see as I go through these that most have traps starting to pop up. Almost all the traps that you see are from last season. There are a couple new ones, but most are old traps. The only action right now are the new traps coming up. I'll try to show you the name of the plants so you know which one is which. If you have any questions, make sure to throw them in the comments. I live in a 6A and we don't count snow out until June. And I've even seen it snow in June. Usually we consistently get temperatures staying above freezing at night toward the end of May, beginning of June. So I probably won't move these out of the tent until mid-May sometime. I try to make sure we're past the freezing temperatures at night. If it does drop below after I put them out, I'll just put a tarp over them. I'm really excited about this Chinese dumpling. It's starting to snap out of it. I bought a lot of Flytraps late in the season last year. They didn't get much of a chance to acclimate in my growing season. They moved right into dormancy. So I'm excited to see what they'll do as they get acclimated and start growing. I think this UK sawtooth is going to be a superstar this year. It looks like all the growth points are putting out traps. It should be a pretty vigorous grower. My candy cane was one of my favorite cultivars and I thought that I lost it. All the traps turned black and died. I thought it had rotted, but I uncovered it a bit and saw some green and white and decided to just leave it and see if it snapped out of it. And it looks like it is. Although the traps coming up are small, it might just be a division that made it. Either way, I'm relieved that the plant is putting out new traps. The direwolf did a great job surviving this winter. This is another one of my favorite cultivars. I mean, what good timing to have a direwolf. Did you hear about them bringing back direwolves? If not, look it up. Some serious Jurassic Park stuff. It's fascinating. It's also really interesting that these Cape sundews can endure the winter. They're supposed to be tropical and don't like a dormant period, but several of mine always make it through. Pretty hardy little plants. And here we have a couple of the red varieties that I have, the Carnivorous. And then over here is the red dragon. I thought that I lost one of the red dragons, but if you peek straight down, you can see some of the new traps coming up. What a relief. You can see on this purpurea that it's not getting enough light for actively growing. When the pictures are super light like that, it needs more light. It should be closer to that red color. I might move this one closer to the light. The classic B52. This is another one that I got late in the season, but I can already see some of those giant traps starting to make their way up. I'm sure this one will be impressive before the season is over. The phalanx is another late season ad. Look at those colors. Can't wait to see how this one does. Going to be an amazing fly trap. I didn't really plan on repotting any of these ones, but this Sarracenia is looking crowded. I added some forkleaf sundews to this pot, and it looks like they're just kind of starting to take over. We might need to move it out into its own pot. The Sarracenia Maroon was one of the plants that I bought to show off in one of my original videos on the channel. It's such a cool plant and puts out some really amazing colors. Plus it's one of the originals, like that's actually pretty cool. Here's the DM Whiskers. Man, I just love when plants are freshly repotted. This one looks amazing with my premium substrate. The green contrasting with the dark substrate just looks really great. Here's my not so giant kudo. It's just a baby. It made it through dormancy though, and it's putting out some small traps. I love watching the Flytraps grow. Speaking of repotting, I have a group here that really need to be repotted. It's early in the growing season, but very late in the dormant season. The time to repot is now. These plants are a good example of what happens when you let moss grow with them. It can really start to take over. I need to repot these ones pretty bad, which is actually a great transition into talking about my Venus Flytrap repotting kits. If you recently bought a flytrap from a big box store or need to pot up some recently ordered bare root flytraps, I have some repotting kits that will fit your needs. I take a lot of pride in having some of the best substrate that you can buy on the market. I carefully measure all the ingredients and hand mix every batch. I also take the time to rinse it a couple of times to make sure I get all the stuff off that can hurt your plants. My kit comes with 2 different size planters, a premium Hydro Farm Active Aqua planter that is a 5 by 5 inches at the top and then 7 inches tall. Lots of room for your plants to stretch its legs. The smaller kit comes with a 3.5 by 3.5 inch at the top and 4.8 inches tall. Take all the guesswork out of repotting your Venus flytraps and other carnivorous plants. Get the best soil and planters that you can find. Head on over to my website, carnivorousplantshub.com, to see what I have available. Thank you so much for supporting my channel and the small business. Also, remember to pour some water on the like button and subscribe to my channel to help it grow. This group of Flytraps here with the moss I got from California Carnivorous late in the season last year. They're all doing really well and they're super healthy. They just need to be repotted and get rid of some of the moss. The moss looks really cool, but it prevents the plant from getting light and can really crowd the roots. It's really best to avoid moss if possible. If you plan on repotting consistently every year, you're probably okay to let the moss grow. California Carnivorous has a ton of plants right now. If you're in the market for some new Venus flytraps, Sarracenia, or other carnivorous plants, head on over there as soon as you can and pick yourself out something nice. Make sure to use my code BUGEATER to get 10% off your order at checkout. Go ahead, go get yourself a new plant. You know you deserve it. These other 2 flytraps over here are the ones that I got from Trap Daddy's Carnivorous Plants. I'll definitely be making another order from Raymond this year. Just look how beautiful these traps are. I'm also going to be repotting these soon as they're outgrowing their pots. The Supernova is going to be a stunner this year. It's one of my early favorites so far. I just love the color and the shape of the traps. Here we have a typical, which is crazy because it's my best early season grower so far. It's put out the most new growth and seems to be the most vigorous. People, don't sleep on typicals. This one is going to be incredible this year. The next few that I have here were late season traps that I got from KC Carnivores. I got these very late in the season. They didn't get to grow at all when they arrived to me. I had to put them straight into dormancy, which is why they look a little more rough. I have no doubt that they're going to be incredible growers as they get acclimated to growing conditions. I thought I lost the red line here, but I can see that there's one healthy trap starting to pop up, so I think it's going to make it. And here's my alien. I thought this one was dead. If you followed my channel for a while, you know my luck with aliens has been terrible. I thought for sure that I killed this one, but it seems to be snapping out of it. I'll believe that it's really healthy mid-growing season. These aliens like to turn on me in the blink of an eye. We really just don't get along very well, even though it's one of my favorite cultivars. The peach pit is also a nice looking early season plant. I really love the color of the traps, kind of a subdued red, closer to a peach color. Just really cool. Late last season, I was actually a bit worried that I lost my low green. It was doing terrible, but it really seems to be snapping out of it. Actually, this might be the first year that I didn't lose any traps over the dormant period. I had some close calls, but so far, nothing has completely died. Time will tell if it stays this way. Alright, we're kind of transitioning into SARS now. For SARS, I mostly just have some flower stalks popping up and some very small pitchers starting to grow. Nothing super impressive yet. There is one a bit ahead of the others, but so far, they're just starting. I think the SAR are going to put on quite a show this year. I decided to just leave the flower stalks. It'll take a little bit away from the pitchers, but I really like how the flowers look, so I think I'm just going to leave them alone. Sometimes SARs early in the season will put out these fake pitchers. They're kind of more like leaves. They're mostly to help the plant absorb some sun and start growing. So if you see some strange looking pitchers, especially early in the season, that looks more like a leaf than a pitcher, don't worry, that's actually pretty normal. And here's a couple of Flytraps that I missed on the original go through here. We have the Bristletooth, who's looking pretty good. And the other one over here is my G14, who is a really cool mouth looking trap right now. Sarracenia are really incredible. They're really cool plants. This plant arrived, it had no leaves, nothing showing above ground, and out pops a flower and a new pitcher. The Sarracenia arrived just as a clump of rhizome, and I haven't had a chance to see any pitchers yet. So I'm really excited to see how it grows. This is another incredible plant from Casey's Carnivorous. Thank you everyone for stopping by. If you need some substrate, planters, and other growing accessories, head on over to my website and see what I have available. The video popping up on the screen right now is what most of these plants looked like going into dormancy last year, if you're interested. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope to catch you in my next video. Bye!